Hello, everyone. Welcome to Online Seller UK podcast. My name is Prabhat, your host and founder at Online Seller UK. And today I've got Dan with me. Dan is a retail manager for Stanley Black & Decker. And today the topic we're going to discuss about is using Google to improve your Amazon SEO. So really interesting topic. Dan, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you very much for having me, mate. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Excellent. So Dan, obviously I introduced very briefly about you. Tell me, what you're doing at the moment.
Yeah, so my background is I've been selling on Amazon since circa 2012. You'll remember that, mate. It was literally just back in the days like Google when you could just buy links and you could just keyword stuff. So that was way back when. It's grown a little bit more since then. Not too much more, but it's still grown a little bit more since then. But yeah, I started out selling iPhone chargers as a bit of a side hustle, and then took it really a lot further when I joined Stephen Kenwright's and Tim Grice's Branded 3 way back when, and yeah, it's gone up from there. Now I'm the webinar host for the tool Sell Zone as well, and as you say, e-commerce channel manager for Stanley Black & Decker. So it's all shot up a bit further since iPhone chargers.
Excellent. No, that's good. So sorry about it. So with regards to tools that we can use for using Google. So what sort of tools are we talking about here?
Yeah, so I'm going to sound completely basic, but the best tools that I use at the moment in time, obviously SellZone for the keyword research aspect of it. Now, obviously it does just focus on the US, but when I'm doing focus numbers and forecasts, etc., the numbers that I'm seeing in terms of my forecast using that aren't too dissimilar to what we get back with that. So, obviously the US is a bit of a wider market than the UK, but it gives me a good idea of where the focus is and where we can pull through as well. Especially if you use UK spellings as well, you can see there's quite a wide difference. So it does take a little bit of finesse in it as well. But on the other side of things as well, because Amazon is such a beast at the moment in time, I tend to use just Google keyword advertiser for my keyword research, because in anything e-commerces will appreciate, Amazon's always going to dominate in the top three the top three links on Google. So if we can then say, actually, the phrase hammer drill has 100,000 searches a month on Google, but we see on Amazon it's only got 1,000 searches, where we think, well, actually 100,000 searches a month on Google is probably going to translate to more than that. So it's something we definitely need to think about as well.
Yeah, so you mentioned about this Google Ads keywords tool. So talk us through, not everyone has got a lot of experience with that. So what are the basics of doing research through Google Ads tools?
So the basics that I would say is you've got to know who your customer is. So if we look at, say, one of our brands is DeWalt, the customer there is more than likely a professional in the industry, has been in it a long time. So if we're using keywords, they even sometimes search on a SKU level. But if we go to one of our other brands, say Black & Decker, that's more for the newly liberated people that have just bought their own house and just want to do a bit of DIY, right, as well. So you wouldn't be focusing on the sort of SKU level detail there. So it's all about really knowing your customer. If you can understand your customer, you can really take Google keywords through there as well. There's also a really interesting feature with it in the fact that you can filter it through a website. So if I said, right, okay, I just want to focus on use this for example, I just want to focus on Apple branding, then I can say, right, okay, I'll use the Apple website as a filter to make sure the keywords I use are very relevant for Apple products as well. And then going down the sides of it, once you put in the keyword that you want to use, so say iPhone charger, you'll then have all the different search volumes along with it as well. 18 volts, 18 volt, going back into Stanley Black & Decker stuff there. But the different types of chargers. You've got the smaller one, the bigger one, the older school ones as well. Did you mean Samsung charger? Then it goes through the brands and the competitiveness. The really interesting point is that it shows you the competitive nature of it. So if I'm saying, right, actually, I want to focus on iPhone charger as a whole, well, I can see that's quite a highly competitive term. But if I then go on to iPhone 6 charger, we can see that's a less competitive term because we're on iPhone 2100,000 or something at the moment. So it's better to go with that little bit more focused as well. So you can see where your efforts are and where best to spend your efforts digging into those deeper.
So, and also with these research when you're doing, you mentioned before Amazon is more of an e-commerce focus, but Google may not be. So, so when we start doing these queries through, so how do we filter out sort of, I wouldn't say irrelevant, or how do we pick up the best keywords? So any suggestions on that?
So for this, there's two ways. There's the manual way for me, which is just going in and acting like a user. It's going back to what I said right at the start, knowing who your user is, how are they searching for your product? Because when we're looking into these different factors, we can say, actually, this is a long tail keyword. It's easy for us to get hold of, but it doesn't convert into sales. It's more top of the funnel stuff. Now, when we're looking into translating that into Amazon, maybe that's not the best keyword that we need to be focusing on. What we need to be focusing is more middle, probably to the bottom of the funnel. When we can see, when the way Google sorts it out, it will show you the, what the conversion rate is like for those keywords. So it's all about manually looking to this into the funnel. Where are the transactional keywords for you, and just pulling around that as well. And then there is also the automated route. So if someone's actually on your website, you can pulling from your analytics, you can pull your own transactional keywords from there, or even onto your own site search as well, looking at how people are searching on your website, then how they're reacting to different products, and then trying to target that around there. So if you on your site search have got a lot of searches around Apple iPhone 6, but your own website is not really targeted, you've not really got a page for that, then you're saying, oh, actually, why have I not got a page that's dedicated to that? And it's the same with the Amazon side of things as well. If we can get Apple iPhone 6 charger, then that's, to me, is a transactional keyword, and we want to make sure that we're on target. We're very well targeted with it. We've got it in the copy, and we've got our everything, the basics of SEO around it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's really good. So a lot of us, when you sell on or trying to do research on Amazon, you start looking into Amazon tools, like we were talking before. And we seem to ignore some of the tools which are already there for us and which are equally maybe valuable here. Okay, cool. So so before we move on, or anything else? So is there anything else you want to add to this?
Nothing in terms of the keyword research aspect. I mean, if people want to get hold of me, you've got my LinkedIn profile. Reach out to me on LinkedIn and Twitter. I'll be happy to take these into any more detail as well. I appreciate I'm talking top line stuff here at the moment as well.
Yeah, no, that's really good. So thank you, Dan, for your time again, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best.
Perfect. Thank you very much.